Hey guys, this is the Son of a Bretsch podcast. My name is Ryan Bretsch. Today's guest is a good friend of mine. We used to do some business ventures together. He's a business owner. He's does real estate photography. Please welcome my friend Casey Jones.
We'll leave this bad boy out for me.
All right.
So I should actually thank you for having me now, because technically you introduced me. So thanks for having me, man.
Hell yeah,
I'm
dude,
super
no
stoked
problem.
to be here.
Yeah, it was, you pretty much like helped me fucking pick a new camera and stuff like that. And
Yes, the Canon M50. I'm very stoked to play with it.
yeah, yeah, it's been fun. So how's the quarantine been treating you lately?
Dude, it's funny. People ask about the quarantine, but it doesn't feel much different than the way I currently already live my life. As weird as it is, I'm so much of a hermit that I'm always working on stuff. So I've always just been kind of secluded to the house. Or, I mean, the thing I miss is the networking, but I don't know. I'm totally cool with chilling at home. I do feel terrible for everyone else that lives were slowed down, but
Right.
it's been amazing for us, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So I saw your masks that you guys had made. Those are pretty badass.
Thanks. Yeah, I was just, the team mentioned it and it was a joke, and I take jokes too far. I was like, hey, then you guys got it, dude. And what better product placement than everyone should have masks right now, dude. The product placement is insane. You're literally looking right at their brand and logo.
I should get one that says "Son of a Bretsch."
Yeah, dude. Literally, I think everyone should just start. It's gonna be the new fashion wave, dude. If this thing keeps going on, someone's gonna make the masks cool, and they're gonna brand them, and everyone's gonna have different style ones. Some rapper's gonna do it. You know it's true.
Yeah, that is true.
There's no denying it.
I heard that the masks don't even really do anything, and it's kind of weird because a lot of states you're required to wear the mask, but
Yeah.
I don't even get what the point of it is exactly, because if you're sick and you're touching shit and
Dude, regardless, if you're sick, just don't freaking go out. I don't know.
Right.
I'm just I keep my distance. I wash my hands. I try to avoid touching my face. I do what you're supposed to do as a hygienic person in society does anyways.
Yeah.
I fear for the older people and, the people with the weakened immune systems. But, dude, I don't even know. I haven't even been thinking about it lately. I've been trying to avoid Facebook as much as possible because that is the only topic aside from everyone posted about Tony Hawk Pro Skater Remastered.
Oh yeah, dude, I saw that.
Sorry, I can't not talk about that. That's literally my whole feed right now, and I'm I prefer it.
Right.
I prefer this.
Were you big into those games?
Oh yeah, that's the only video games I play. It's really funny because my wife is actually the gamer, and I don't play any video games. But Tony Hawk Pro Skater, I played that all the time. So
Yeah, I had a fun time with that one. I'm pretty sure I figured out a couple good bands that I started listening to.
Oh, dude.
From that.
If you look at my iTunes right now, it literally will say Tony Hawk Pro Skater as a playlist. Hell yeah, it's the coolest playlist back. No one makes playlists anymore. You know,
Right.
we have our iPhone, so we just bounce around. But to actually have a dope this is my cleaning playlist. This is my chill playlist. This is. There was a lot of fun to just sitting down and putting songs together, especially genres that didn't go together.
Right.
I remember my stuff would go from Eminem to Slipknot to I don't know, Disturbed, and then all of a sudden Alanis Morissette. It was the weirdest thing, and it was yeah, that's my summer CD. You know what I mean?
I mean, I have a working out playlist.
Yeah.
But
yeah, well, see,
other than that,
I guess maybe I'm just not the one doing it anymore, and I'm just saying everyone else isn't doing it, so I feel better. Who knows?
Yeah. But so one thing that I've always kind of noticed about you, because we used to you brought me into this company called Jeunesse, and I mean I ended up feeling like Jeunesse kind of finessed, but
yeah, I get what you're saying.
But I also wasn't that good at it, because it's social networking, and
yes,
basically texting, calling everybody you know.
Yes.
And like,
it's the stuff that every person on Facebook loves to make jokes about, and I get it. It's funny stuff. Like it's that a lot of people, especially females, start doing the It Works, or those companies that,
or like the Pampered Chef or something like that.
But the
fun fact, my grandma actually like made it in Pampered Chef.
Yeah, like
she
did well.
Like she
Dude,
she was like.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
And
like
a lot of people like.
Yeah, here's the thing. I don't do any of that anymore, and that's the thing is though. I will never knock it. So when I see people talking about it, I always love to inquire about their feedback on it, because I just feel people are ignorant and ill-informed to the idea of it. Because yes, it is a thing. Talk to your family and your friends, but the whole idea is also that you're building business fundamentals, you're learning how to network, how to converse, how to provide value, how to run a business and all that stuff. And if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have the company that I have now from all the fundamentals I learned from that. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people, the problem is they get saturated with the idea that people think like get rich quick, like you never have to work another day in your life, but it's because they're trying to get you to dream again. And then I think it gets misconstrued and twisted that like, I'm going to be able to live this millionaire life by tomorrow, when, dude, it's hard work. But I grew up around that stuff. I went to the Tupperware parties with my mom and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then, I started with the skincare. Then I went to Jeunesse. And then I went back to skincare. And I also worked with a health supplement company doing that stuff. But I took all those fundamentals, and I actually literally, my team is built off that same structure where they come in and it's all production-based. It's all completely... whatever work you put into it is how much you're going to make, and it's not anything like no one gets guaranteed pay with us. You know what I mean? So, but what's cool is it drives a culture of everybody wanting to work together to help each other, and I just feel like that's what you learn a lot from that stuff, Yeah. And so, like, yeah, you guys all came in, and I know that we could have, done it better, I think, but it was actually like you guys unfortunately jumped into a terrible company. Jeunesse was awful. Yeah. I won't lie.
Yeah, I remember that one guy, because we were like talking to this like millionaire dude, and he would video chat in on our group meetings and stuff like that. And then I remember one time he like snapped on me on Facebook. Like it kind of felt like he put on this big like huge facade, and he like seemed like this really cool dude that like talked to you about whatever. But like when it came down to it, he ended up kind of being a shyster, and he's purebred network marketing, like diehard network marketing.
He's
what?
He's like super network marketing, like that whole culture. Yeah. And that's the thing, is that culture, the culture that kind of got attracted to it. I like to look at it like this, dude. The people that like, ICP is not the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, they're bad, all right? I know this is way off topic, but it's their following that is even worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like the people are what ruin it, and that culture is what ruins it, and that's the same exact kind of concept with that. It's the culture that got associated with it, with everyone flashy and being all bling bling and money, started really taking over that whole industry, and all of a sudden now it's just seen as a pyramid scheme and all that stuff, and it sucks, because like, dude, there's moms out there that, I mean, there's a guy I'm actually mentoring right now in Iowa. And he's been living off of Amway for 4 years, like with a full-time income for him and his wife and their kids. And I'm like, dude, with Amway, that's amazing. Like,
what is Amway exactly?
Jameson did Amway.
Oh, I think I heard him talking about it. What?
They do more like, I think, like household items, like things you already buy, but you just buy it through them instead, and then you get
toilet paper.
Yeah,
stuff like that.
Plungers. I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell you, because I never really looked into it. Like, soon as, that's another thing with that whole culture. As soon as you get into it and you choose that company, all the other ones, no, you don't want to go to that one. You want to go to mine because I benefit from.
So did you, when you? Because pretty much the entire time that I've known you, you kind of had this, like, you super like entrepreneurial, and like always wanted to like
Yeah.
run like a business of some sort. And have you always been like that, like since you were a kid?
Yeah, my dad cursed me with that because it was always like anything I did, even when I was playing in my first band. He's like, "Are you getting paid for that?" And I was like, "What? I feel like I should be paying to play, dude." Like,
was Rescue your first band?
no, Sunset Misery.
Oh, I remember hearing about that one from my sister too.
Yes, that was.
Yeah.
God.
I remember I'm sorry.
No. I was just thinking about it.
I was just gonna say I remember Rescue. I can't remember the name of the song, but I had it as like my MySpace profile song for a little while. I dug that band a lot.
Yeah, they see catastrophe was probably
that was it.
Fire running down her gown. That stuff was fun. Yeah, I love that. I miss that kind of stuff, and I miss doing all that. But yeah.
You said you were saying something about your dad?
Oh yeah, he would be like, "Are you getting paid for that?" And I was like, "Dude, I'm just stoked to play." Like, but he always instilled, like, he was just always like, I can network my way to find the next dollar kind of thing. Like, he never worked a job, but like he worked with the Packers, like, and would set up autograph signings with them where he basically managed it and got paid for them signing autographs.
Oh,
like,
nice.
But like, yeah, like he became friends with them and just like. He was selling like those little Packer helmets with like Antonio Freeman's signatures on them because he would just sign a bunch of shit and let my dad sell it for money. Like,
nice.
it was the weirdest thing, but that's what I grew up around. And so like the idea of working for anyone has always bothered me. So I've jumped from job to job. I was always like, I would find the most efficient way to do things, get super bored, and then I would leave. And like, I don't know, it was authority, and I have like a complete lack of respect for authority, and I don't know why. So
when was the last like real job that you actually worked out, or not? Your job is a real job, but
no, I know what you're saying. Like worked for someone else other than myself. Well, actually, I was working at U.S. Cellular like 2.5 years ago.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
But I started there and I was like, I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna become a manager in this company. And then I was there and I was like, I do not want to be a manager. I don't want to work for anyone else. So then I saw them opening the kiosk. And I was like, I've been working in the mall for like 10 years. You want me to be like acting manager over there and help open it because I know everyone there? So I knew they would put me there and I would have no supervision. So I could basically start building my business on their dime. And so, I would go into work and I would just like network, build my website, make my cold calls, do all that stuff for my own business while they're paying me. And then one day I finally came in and I realized I was making more in a day than I was making in 2 weeks there. And I was like, I'm just going to quit. Like, so I put my keys in the safe. I texted the manager and said, hey, listen, I quit. You might want to get someone in here. Keys are in the safe. Don't text me. I don't want to talk about it. And I just left. And I've always kind of been that way. Like, I always have looked forward to that good quit story. I just feel like everyone deserves one. Like that one day where you get to fire your boss and become your own boss,
Yeah.
That shit gets me fired up.
I'm dreaming of that day for sure.
Dude,
I mean, I don't necessarily like hate my job or anything.
Yeah.
They actually like treat their employees really good.
Yeah.
But I still can't wait for that
just
day.
To work for yourself, to do your own thing, to be your to wake up and determine your own schedule it's a great feeling. And like, I will say there's pros and cons to both, because I sometimes wish I could just go work like a 9 to 5 and just be done. Like 5 o'clock later, dude, and get my check and go do what I want.
Well, because sometimes you can end up it just being your life.
Oh yeah, dude. Like my wife and I literally have to have things time blocked, and we have to be like, at this time we shut it off. You're not allowed to talk about this anymore. Like, it becomes a very systemized life in order to make it work, and be like, okay, from 7 to 9 p.m. that's our time to hang out, and then we go to bed at this. Like, it's hard, but at least there's the give and take, what I mean? So it's either you're working for someone else's schedule and getting paid what they think you're worth, or the other way around. You get paid what you believe you're worth,
right?
Work as much as you want, kind of thing. Yeah. So I don't know, dude. I can't be told what to do. I don't like it. My wife even has that problem. She tells me what to do, and I just don't listen.
So when did you kind of? Because I remember seeing like you starting into photography and seeing some of your stuff that you were posting online and stuff like that. But when did you kind of decide you wanted to get into doing like real estate photography?
So originally I would shoot skateboarding is where it all started. So it was like if you didn't get it on camera, it didn't happen. And then I just had a nice camera that I bought after I moved back from Minneapolis, and I took a picture of the kiosk I worked at and sent it to the manager and was like, hey, you should use this for your website. And she was like, oh, you do photography? And at that moment, I just lied flat out. I'll cut that story short and say I lied. Got paid $1,500 to do all their merchandise photography off of having no portfolio, nothing to prove, and just completely BS my way through the whole thing. And so I realized I liked merchandise, but the whole time I was on YouTube learning how to do it in the back room while taking the photos and then just figuring it all out. So I've always been a person where if someone asks me if I can do something, you'll never know if I truly do know how to do it or not, because I'm going to tell you yes regardless and figure it out. Like, it's a curse with me. Like, I stress myself out by doing that. It's the worst. Like, I'm like, yeah, dude, I totally can do that. And I'm like, I have no idea what that is, dude. Like, it can be a good and bad thing, but that, I don't know. I guess I don't even know where I was going with
that. But yeah, so how did you get into like?
That's where I was going with that.
Shooting houses.
Shooting houses was my in-laws started doing real estate, and they're like, hey, can you shoot the houses for us? We need, photos of the houses. So I started doing it, and again, that whole thing took over, that like addiction to learning and needed to, figure it out. I looked at another company, and I was like, I need to look like theirs. So then I started trying to figure out how they do their work. Then I started looking at another company that I thought was better and was like, how do they do theirs? And then I was like, how do I be better than all these people? And that's when I really started like digging in. And so I started creating new systems, new processes, putting out new products that were pretty much unparalleled by anybody in the surrounding market. And once I realized I had that and I knew I had a duplicatable system, that's when I was like, dude, I'm going with real estate. Like, I can do this whole thing and build a whole team and stay completely zoned in on one demographic. Problem is people get a camera and all of a sudden it's like, I want to do weddings, I want to do this, I want to do this. It's totally cool if that's what you want to do out of passion, but if you're trying to actually build a business, if you don't zero in on one thing, it becomes almost impossible. I was trying to do like too many. And once I realized that just like Shutter Zone Media is real estate, that's what we are, it became like all of a sudden just realtors started coming and flooding in. It was the greatest feeling.
Did you kind of did you market it that way as just being like?
I use it against anybody that does real estate photography. I will use it against them if they do any other work outside of like the photography. If their website shows wedding photography, I will point out the fact that, well, if they do wedding photography and real estate photography, which one is it that they're actually an expert at? See, we only do real estate photography, and you'll also catch us at your conventions that you're going to and reading the books that you're reading and taking the tests that you're taking, because we actually are in the industry. We're not just doing this because there's money in this. Right. We're here to elevate your business and your brand, and that alone just immediately, like, we create partnerships versus creating clients or any of that stuff, So yeah. I've been very strategic.
I could tell that it kind of the network marketing thing had a huge effect in that, because
it's the business of building relationships. That's exactly it. Building relationships and finding a need and providing the solution and just filling it with value. Just like I constantly am finding ways that I can just give more by doing a lot. You know what I mean? It's just like if I can add more and it's only going to take me 2 seconds, I'll do it, because I just know it's going to add more.
So do you think the road to kind of finding success is like zeroing on one thing, or do you think you can be kind of a jack of like a lot of trades and still like find success? Like,
I'll tell you something funny. It kind of goes with both of what you're saying, because the jack of all trades and all that stuff. So I'm kind of like a jack of all trades in a sense, but what I'm good at is the key to success is helping other people get success. It's not about getting success. It's about giving success. So being a jack of all trades, I know enough to know who to find in that strong area. I'm not compliant, so I need Jeff on my team because he's compliant. I'm not very analytical and number oriented with this stuff, so I need Tony for that. I'm not very organized and I'm not very good at marketing, but Paige is really good at that. So I don't do it myself. The key to success is finding people finding out what they want and helping enough people get what they want. And as soon as you can help enough people get what they want, you get everything that you want. It's just like there's a book called The Go-Giver that you could check out. And instead of being a go-getter, you're a go-giver. You're intentionally finding ways to help people every single day and provide value to people's lives every single day. And I think that's what brings success, is when you actually have a genuine passion for helping people. Like mine with Shutter Zone is I'm helping realtors genuinely elevate their brand and build their business, and that directly affects them and their family because they're making more money, they're living the life they want to live, they're having a lot more success. So I'm constantly thinking about how I can provide value to them, to my team. Like I had 3 new people come on in August, and all of them went full time right away, and now they're like, I've never made this much money doing anything in my life. Like, and I'm not saying that to be like, oh, we make money. Like, to be honest with you, they make more money than I do because I pay them on production. But it's just exciting to just, you're putting everything into watching other people grow, and by default you just,
Do you still do shooting at all, or do you
Yeah. I'll either do it when it's like a day where I just, I need to fill in for someone, or I'll do it if I genuinely just want to shoot that house. Like I look at it, I'm like, that's massive, I want that.
Well, yeah, because I was trying to get OBS set up, but I couldn't figure that out.
Yeah.
But I was gonna show some of your guys' work. I think I might just pull in right here.
Yeah,
I'll
right.
just pull
As
in
we're
some
talking,
pictures.
yeah.
I'll pull in a picture and show like kind of some of your guys' work. But you guys do like really cool stuff.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a process. It was a long learning curve to get to that point. A lot of trial and error.
How did you build your team?
Dude, okay, so it's actually a really funny question, or a funny answer, I guess. So I don't really feel like I built my team. Much like the idea with helping other people is I started just kind of reverting my attention to being like, I need to get more people, because I had built it by myself. I thought I was going to have time for vacation just 1 week. And all of a sudden I just got full on booked to a point where I was like, oh my God, I scheduled a vacation and I'm getting slammed. So by default, I just had to find someone to do it for me while I was gone. And then I thought to myself, well, if I could do that with this person, and they've never shot photos in their life, but they're going to do everything that I'm going to teach them in less than a week, I could duplicate that over and over again. And so when it came to actually finding members of the team, I just kind of started thinking like, dude, I need more people for my team. I need to start getting a team. And what happened was a realtor was like, hey, are you looking for people for your team? Because I have a guy that is trying to get into real estate photography. So she connected me with him. Boom, I got Jeff. All of a sudden, Luke just reached out to me randomly, was like, hey, man, I remember you coming into Starbucks and telling me about your company. Are you guys looking for anyone? And I was like, yeah, we totally are. Boom, I got another one. Tony came around, my father-in-law, and was like, hey, Samantha does this kind of stuff, and she said she'd be interested in learning about the real estate side of things. I sat with her, and boom, she joined the team. It was literally like just, I need people, and all of a sudden it was like, bam, I had people. It's crazy because, like, I don't know, man, when you just start thinking about things and, like, really stay focused and do all that stuff, it just kind of falls in place. As weird as it is, I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty pretty interesting.
Well, it's kind of like, I don't know, you just start getting into a groove of things. It's kind of like with music, you know what I mean? Like over time, like you're playing with certain musicians and stuff, and you just start locking in, and it just all of a sudden there's no thought, and things just kind of fall into place and just happen. And all of a sudden you're like, dang, that shit just worked out. Like, yeah,
that is a good analogy to that. Because I had to build a band not recently, but last year I built a band and just like kind of formed it piece by piece, and as I was forming, like, members fell off, and I mean, eventually I found all my members, and we were doing pretty good for a while until this quarantine hit. But
that'll put a damper on things.
Yeah, it sure did. So what would be your advice to, like, an entry level, like, entrepreneur, like, trying to get into the business of, like, building your own business and being your own boss type of thing?
My advice would be to work to learn, not to earn. And what I mean by that is, whatever you're wanting to get into, find mentorship and find guidance and invest your time into learning more than you're investing your time into trying to just earn money. So I probably put 80% of my time into learning things and 20% actually, like, you know. So my biggest advice would just be to constantly be curious and try new things and just learn new things every single day and apply them. Just, I don't know, man. That's it. It's just an addiction to curiosity, I think, is what you need to have for being an entrepreneur, because you have to be able to think different. You have to be able to constantly sharpen your mind and be able to use it as a tool and learn how to ask yourself the right questions.
Yeah. So, did you have to read a lot of like business books and stuff like that?
Yeah,
Like,
I have tons of books. My stuff at home is filled. My wife got mad at that, so now I have PDFs filled. Like, I have them everywhere. I only listen to audiobooks for the most part in the car now, as weird as it is. I used to listen to music, but someone asked me how much money I've made memorizing lyrics, and I was like, good point. So he's like, why would you not use that time that you're just sitting in a car by yourself to just listen and learn? And I was like, that's a good point. So now I have like an addiction to that.
Yeah, I've had kind of an addiction to listening to podcasts.
Mm-hmm. Hence probably why we're here.
Yeah, pretty much. But I feel like I should definitely get into listening to audiobooks.
Mm-hmm.
I've been looking at one. It was recommended by like Joey Sturgis on a podcast.
Okay.
You know Joey Sturgis.
Yep.
And it was how to win friends and influence people.
Yep.
I was looking at that one.
That's Dale Carnegie.
Yep.
Yes, that's a great book. There's actually a photo of Eminem holding that backstage reading it.
Really?
Like, yeah. So it's crazy, man. Success leaves clues, and I'm not saying that like I'm successful in any way, but what I'm saying is I found a path that makes me feel successful. It makes me feel like I'm having the life that I want to live, being able to spend the time with my family, do the things I want to do, and I do. You know, I give that credit all to just mentorship and books and learning and just having a. Like, you don't have to read what other people are telling you to read. You can read what you want to read and learn what you want to learn. Just always be learning, because if you're not growing, you just start feeling like you're dying inside, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if true passion, what I find what it is it's just finding a curiosity about something and diving in and just really wanting to learn about it. And that's what passion is. When you want to drum, it's because you want to learn how to drum better. And you watch these videos and it just inspires you, and, you know, you go further. That's how you just learn passion about anything, is just dive in and learn more, and you just start getting more interested and more passionate, and you think about it more, and boom, before you know it, you have this burning desire to.
Yeah, that's kind of how I've been with like videography lately.
Mm-hmm.
I just bought this course for like Premiere Pro,
Mm-hmm.
like a master class for Premiere Pro, and I'm really excited to start cracking into that.
Yeah. I have another one for you that I can give you. It's like a Premiere Pro Guru or something like that. It's like a course on Premiere. And I have like another, like, dude, I have like thousands of dollars of courses, because that's all I do. I'm like, honey, I'm just buying another course real quick, and just throwing the credit card. I got it saved through PayPal. I don't even know why I'm acting like I type it in. That shit's like quick saved. Just run it. Just, there goes another few hundred just to backlog. That's her problem, is she's like, you buy all these books, you get all these things, and you're not even finished with the last one. And I'm like, dude, I only have so much time in the day, but I want it there for when I'm ready.
So how did you like handle like adversity or doubt when you were kind of coming up as like a business person?
That's actually a very good question, because I had a lot of adversity in network marketing. That was like all adversity. Everyone did. No one wanted anything to do with it. So rejection, adversity, all that stuff. I didn't think about it, as weird as that sounds. When I found Shutter Zone, it was the one, just like with Trash or any of that. When I had that skate company or Secret Crew or any of those, it was just something that I believed in, and I really just was more focused on having fun to ever think that failing or rejection or any of that stuff would matter. Like, I was just so into a zone that it was like, okay, I tried to get this client and they said no, or worse, I tried to get this client and they were complete utter jerk to me. Yeah, so with rejection, I mean, you could just cut the whole thing and just start here. Rejection and adversity weren't things I really ever thought about because I was just too busy doing it. I was having fun and I knew that it would work. I just was finding ways it didn't work and trying to find ways that it would work, if that makes sense. So it's with a lot of things, I feel like if you don't have that passion for learning with it, again, I go right back to that. If you don't have that pulling you, you'll have those negative doubts like pulling you back. You know what I mean? So it's almost like you're either going to go this way and just keep focus on learning and being inspired, or you're going to slip and just allow yourself to just kind of fall back into the way things were and be like, oh, you know what, that probably won't work anyways. And then you talk yourself out of things super quick. I'm not going to say I don't get those things in my head. I get that fear, but then I immediately turn around and think, how can I correct this right now? And I immediately dive into something to learn to like feel stronger about that topic. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if I'm like, oh man, I don't know how to get clients, all of a sudden I'm listening to audios immediately about how to get more clients, and all of a sudden I'm fired up and now I want to go out and do it. So before I could ever even feel defeated, I immediately just switched the frame of mind on everything. Mm-hmm. So I don't know.
So you kind of just kind of had some like discipline when it came to it, basically, like in just saying like no, just because I had this person say no to me, I'm not gonna let that get me down or sway me from my goals at all.
I mean, think about it, dude. If there's someone you really want to be with, you know, like, do you just accept it and walk away and like just let that doubt stop you from talking to them, or you just go for it and just you know, and just like, okay, she didn't find that funny, I won't do that again. You know what I mean? Like you just watch and just learn. And as you learn, you get better. Like, I feel like maybe finally after 5 years, I'm finally learning that my wife doesn't like me talking over her. You know, things like that. But for real, like, I think that's what it comes down to. It's just
I completely agree. So what kind of were there any mistakes that you had made that you kind of like wished that you had avoided overall? Like,
financial investments on impulse. Like, when you're building in the beginning, you want to like, you're like, no, I need this, and you get super excited and you go buy things that you think you need. You need the next biggest, you need the new lights, you need the new camera, you need all this. And you're thinking about how you need all this stuff to create something, you know, big, when in reality all you need is just, you know, your creative mind and whatever is available around you. Mm-hmm. And so I wish I would have stepped back and thought more about, you know, the systems, processes, and all that stuff versus just throwing the money away. I think I could have built it a little bit better, as you know. But again, that's just like it is with any artist with things, is you write a song and you feel like you could change it to be better. You're like, I feel like I could, you know, I feel like I could do a different fill right there. I feel like I could have, you know, painted this painting better. There's always something that you're going to see when you create something, and you're going to see something that you wish you could, you know, go back and change. So there's always going to be something, but I don't know, like, that's the only one I would say that I think would really be that I guess.
Yeah, I could definitely say that I'm kind of guilty of that for sure. But just because I literally just bought a new camera and a new computer, basically, to do this.
But this is exciting stuff. Whoop, I'm flinging water at you. This is exciting stuff, though, because you're now, I mean, you have the audio stuff set up. Like, that comes from your music background, which is going to tie directly into video. Like, everything's going to intertwine, and now you're going to be able to create new things with your camera, probably film yourself drumming, do dope videos, do vlogging. Like, it's just stretching your creative process and creative outlet, and it's keeping you sane, and it's probably inspiring you and giving you a fire inside that, you know.
Oh, it definitely is. Like, when I edited that first episode, like, once I got into like a groove, like I noticed that I really got into like a flow state with it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, where I was just like making like a cut here, and then I haven't even really touched Premiere yet, but in Vegas, like it'll start to like figure out what you're doing. You know what I mean? As you start editing, like all of a sudden, oh, so you're doing this. All right, so I'll move this here, and then all of a sudden it's just like it makes it so you get into like this flow state as you're watching the video and lining everything up, and it's actually like pretty cool. I kind of surprised myself because I was when I was editing that I like sat back and like I was doing it, and then next thing I knew like 6 hours had passed.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oof.
Now try being in a field where I used to try to charge hourly for that, and all of a sudden I'm like, damn, dude, like I just worked for like 5 hours, like, but it passed and I wouldn't track that time, and all of a sudden I'm trying to like regather, like, what time did I start again? Like, it was the worst, like doing all that.
How long does a shoot normally take? Like,
so for like real estate aspect?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's all timed and depending on what it is, because you have the photography, videography, aerial, 360 tour, and all that stuff. So usually about a 1,500 square foot house takes about 30 minutes to shoot photos. I would say about another 20 minutes for a 360 tour, another 20 minutes for aerial photos and video. And then if you want to add on a full video, you're going to add in about an hour. And then, again, you got to think about this amount of square feet. So as the house gets bigger, that time kind of stretches. So you're looking at anywhere from 30 minutes to about like 2.5 hours. Like, it really just depends, you know.
Have you shot any like mansions at all? Like...
Yes. Yeah, there's this $1.7 million huge mansion that I was actually getting mad because I'm going through the house and I'm like, no, this is probably a closet. And I open it, and it's a whole nother end of the house. And I'm like, dude, like, what is this area now? And they're like, oh, that's the butler's quarters. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, he gets his own whole house. And then on top of it, they have a guest house. Like, I mean, it was like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Like, no joke. Like, probably bigger than that house, to be honest with you. And I'm like, I love shooting that stuff, though. But the problem is, in Wisconsin, is the bigger the house gets like that, it's like the more outdated and ugly the inside is, because they spent all the money on the house and they can't afford to frickin' update it now. So I get more stoked on Muskego houses, like those new fresh made ones. I like that way better than like those big mansions.
Yeah. Have you ever done some like rundown shit?
Dude, I actually pulled up on a house and my sister was with me because I was like, I just have one shoot and then I'll take her where she has to go. And I pull up to this house and it was on the north side, and there's like a drug deal going down, and I'm like, I have to get out and shoot this house, and I have my camera, and I'm like, dude, okay, this is kind of terrible. Like, I'm sitting in this car just staring at them, waiting for them to leave. They're right in front of the house that I have to shoot. I have a camera with me. One, this is expensive equipment, but also, do I look like a freaking cop right now, like trying to do this? Like, so I'm like, okay, I kind of just want to leave right now. Like, at this point, it was just super uncomfortable, but I feel bad because we have this Samantha on our team, you know, just a short little girl that, you know, she goes to Milwaukee and it'll be in like the worst neighborhoods. I'm like, we can't let her go over there anymore. We need to like completely geo fence that off so she can't even get booked. But you'll get some rundowns, but sometimes those neighborhoods are like have the nicest people in the world. Yeah. As weird as it is. Like, I've had some of the nicest interactions just in those places where you think you should be afraid.
Right. No, there's actually some like nice areas of the north side. It's like a common misconception that it's just like all like ghetto and shitty,
all run down and not up and coming like Oak Creek is now. No, no, it's there's cool houses everywhere, and there's houses that have been run down in the nicest neighborhoods, like where that's just the one house I got booked that just looks like crap, and I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? These houses,
can you generally make them look nice anyways?
Oh, dude, our editing team, like, we literally could send them a photo of a house with the entire basement filled. We could literally, this right now, how your basement is, they could just take all of this out, all your drumming stuff, all your music stuff, everything. They could take it completely out, refurnish it in the picture, and just make it look like what it could look like if you just completely renovated your house. Like, they do that stuff for all of our photos, so people will be like, pretty cool. I don't want this to be a kid's room, and they'll make it like an elegant room.
So how do they do, like, is it just all Photoshop?
Yeah.
Just being a Photoshop wizard?
Yeah, dude, like, I'm talking... You won't learn that in high school, I'll tell you that. Like, there's no high school course that these guys are just insane. Like, so that's another thing too, is like, I know that I provide the best product, but I know I'm not the one putting out that best product. Like, I've found the method to shoot and how to provide the photos to get that quality of editing, but it was a matter of me working out with multiple people to find the best thing that would give that quality.
Mm-hmm.
And that team, dude, if it wasn't for them, I would not be anything or have anything. Like, they literally just kill it with those photo editing. It's nuts.
Dude, yeah, I will say that those pictures I was kind of like first time I started seeing you post them, I was like, oh shit.
Dude, the
like,
windows. If you look at the windows in ours, dude, like, everything is evenly lit no matter what. There's no hard shadows.
Do you guys bring like lights and stuff? Or
there's no lights.
You just use natural lighting?
We use natural lighting, but for every shot, like, we take so many different shots for just one angle. So, like, my camera will have... I'll snap it about 15 times sometimes for just one photo because of the method that I use to capture everything that I want in the picture. So it's almost like it's not just photography, it's a blending method, because you could take one photo or you could take 15, and now I'm looking at it like, okay, I like that this is now properly exposed in this photo, so I'm going to take that mouse from that, and I'm going to take this keyboard because that's exposed from this one. And then all of a sudden I go to the next photo and I like this exposure for this one. And I literally am painting in every individual piece.
It sounds kind of like, did you see that picture of the moon? That guy took, there's this dude that took, he's like what's the word for people that take pictures of space? Just astrophotographer?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. I've never, I feel like a poser now. I don't even know.
But no, and he took like 1,500 pictures of the moon and put them all together, and it's just like the super vivid picture of the moon. It's like insane.
Wow. No, that's amazing.
It's like you could see every little crater and every little.
Yeah, it's like the depth and all that stuff.
You can see the Nazi base that's on.
Yeah,
there.
right. Yeah, right. All that scary stuff. Yeah. Yeah. No, that's.
What's like a have you had any like crazy shit happen to you while you were on a like a photo shoot?
Crazy stuff. Not so much as me, but Luke gets himself into mischief, and Jeff too. Like, yeah, I don't know. Like, everything kind of goes smooth for me. I can't think of anything. I'm sure there's something, and I'm just literally brain farting on it. But yeah, everything's kind of always gone smooth for me. And it's just been super easy.
Have you ever had like difficult customers or anything?
Oh, dude, yes. Actually, if it comes to that, I've had people that I've literally told I don't want to work with them, like, don't ever book for me again. And I've had other people that I just blocked them on everything before I could even hear from them again. Like, dude, this old lady, it's the worst, dude. Like, she just doesn't know how to use technology, and so I'm the guy. I'm the asshole. Like, like, you can't access Dropbox, and you're calling me saying like, "This is what I hate about Shutter Zone." I'm like, first of all, that's a Dropbox issue.
She's already got Yelp open.
Yeah, and
she's got Yelp open.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly it, dude. So immediately, as soon as I hear that mad voice, I'm like, dude, block. No reviews are gonna be bad on my stuff. Like, that's very rarely ever happened. I had one lady where I sent her headshot, actually. We did it in the Dells. It was for the GMAR event, and we were doing headshots. And I sent her unedited headshots and said, choose which one you want edited, and I'll edit it and send it back. And she responded with, how could you send me these? I'm so mad. I want my money back. This is the worst thing. And then she left a review on Facebook and was like, did not do what they said they would do, like, or something like that, and she worded it poorly, and it was just a stupid sentence like that. And because of that, now we have a 4.8 out of 5 out of all of our 5 stars. That's the only one. And it just dude. And I'm
they put a 1 star,
or something like that. Yeah, and she just said did not do what they said they do. And I was like, dude, lady, I sent you unedited photos and said, hey, these photos are unedited, please choose the photo you want edited, and I will send them back. And dude, she just went off. And then all of a sudden, she's like, I want this and this. And then I sent her an edited photo, and I was like, here's an example. And she just stopped. I was being super nice, though. But she still left that review. And I was like, after that, I was like, dude.
Some people are just going to be like that. Those are the Karens of the world.
Well, that's why I started putting more effort into, I don't like to do marketing in the sense of just Facebook ads or any of that stuff, because that's how you get just anybody. And I like to find, not just anybody, but that somebody that I want to work with. So I'm very intentional about when I'm bringing in new people to work with, like client wise, and partnering with new realtors. It's a matter of an actual relationship, not just here's this Facebook ad and now I'm going to get this jerk customer that wants to belittle us because they are, you know.
Oh, it's like literally the same thing for like music production and stuff like that. Because I was like producing like a couple musicians for a while, and I had this one guy who I actually grew up with this guy, and it was just like constantly like a pain in the ass, like because I was trying to like run it as like a business and stuff, you know what I mean? And this guy didn't like, since he like knew me, like he was just like, oh yeah, we're gonna work on music together, and you're gonna like he wanted me to like write a song basically for him that he was gonna sing over, and do all this stuff, and like he just like wanted me to do it for free basically, and I was trying to like not be like a dick about it, but like this, if you want me to like put this time into that, then you know you gotta like treat me with respect and
so when it comes to pricing, I hide behind technology for that. I do not like talking about price. I don't like talking about money. I always will handle everything through, it's not through email. I have everything automated. So like you schedule online, and we have an app developed. We're the only company that does photography that has the app for scheduling us and stuff. So that's us part big time. But if you call me and I don't answer, it immediately sends you a text message that says, thanks for calling. I'm currently on an appointment. If this is in regards to booking, go here. And it gives them a link, and then they get that link and they just go book. And then so when it comes to money and all that stuff, I hate talking about it. And it's because of friends growing up, always wanting free ththings. And so now it's literally just like, oh, yeah, for sure. You just go to our website. Like, hey, I want to set up an appointment with you. For sure, go to the website. Set it up there.
Okay.
And then that way it's like, that's taken care of, and now I can just talk to you about buddy stuff.
That's actually some really good advice, kind of.
Yeah, it gives you an established look, because then, you know, it's like tattoo artists that are like, people are like, how much for this? Well, if you set your established pricing online and you're like, go book online, you're going to get more serious inquiries, because I require people to pay a 50% deposit as well. So it's like, if you want me to be serious, like, show me you're serious, put some skin in the game, and I'll set aside that time to make that happen for you. And so, and then also I also make it a rule where if I'm going to do something for free for someone, that means I get complete creative control then. And then it's going to be for my portfolio, and that's why it's free.
Oh, okay.
So like, you never just do something for free because you're going to sit there and be like, dude, why the hell did I waste my time doing that for free?
Right.
You find a way for it to be a win-win. So like with video work, I have people where I'm like, hey, I'll do that video for free because I just want to. I want that piece. I want to work on that portfolio. But then there's other people who are like, hey, can you film this? And I'm like, no, that's going to do absolutely nothing for me. Sorry, dude. You're going to have to pay double what people would normally pay. I've actually done that, where I'll just throw the price up just because I'm like, dude, if they say yes, cool. If not, hell yeah, even better.
Well, that works, man.
Yeah.
So I got like probably one more question for you. So like what, like it's kind of gonna be kind of like a theme, it seems like, to ask about like kind of like failures that you faced and kind of like how you overcame them.
Because I'm just gonna talk about learning again, aren't I? Is that all I talk about? So yeah, tell us more about how you want to be a t-shirt. No, failures that I've faced. I mean, trash skateboards was a failure. But that was because...
What was that a legitimate, like, you actually had boards that you made?
We had boards, we had shirts, we had hats, we had, we actually were in a Trans World magazine, Brandon Strafansky and Kenny Anderson with the skate trash shirts and everything.
I remember seeing, like, did you guys have a hat or something?
The flip brim, and it's right on trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, those were big. Like everyone, we were giving those out to like everybody for a while too. But we had all that stuff, and I actually had it to a point where I was talking to the skate rep of Zoomies, and I was gonna get it into there. Mm-hmm. But we were doing this all DIY at the time, and it was all through my friend who was doing it with me, and he ended up being like, you're gonna get us into zoomies and you're gonna turn this all mainstream. That's not what this is about. This is about DIY punk rock and blah blah. She stopped all production and just it was done. Like I couldn't do anything because he had all the stuff, and I was like, and at that time I didn't have the money to invest and just start doing it again. Plus it was part his, so I just was like, whatever, just forget it, it's done. But it was just weird because it was in a very short time that I had it like that. I gave a deck to Corey Duffel. And a shirt and stuff, and it was dope because I deleted the picture on Instagram. I was bummed, but it was a picture of him with the Skate Trash shirt on and him saying hashtag Skate Trash, and I was like, hell yeah. And then Tony Hawk, we gave stuff to. It was just really cool because I was out there trying to frickin' network and just get this stuff to everyone I could.
Are you friends with John Bartles?
Yeah, he was one of my first friends ever when I moved to Jefferson Elementary. I was 5 and we were in the same first grade together. Oh. And so we started skateboarding together. We started everything together.
So
I just saw him 2 days ago.
Did you ever hang out with Greg Lutzka and stuff like that?
Yeah. So I remember. Yeah, Bartles, dude, he pretty much, we went to the skate park first time together. He could drop in. I couldn't. He kept going. All of a sudden he was like, everyone was like, dude, Bartles is sick. And he just got really freaking good really fast. Mm-hmm. So dude, him and I were inseparable. I was always at his birthdays. He's been sending me actually silly pictures. I should send you them to put in this of dude, my ears were this size right here when I was a little kid. It was ridiculous. And he's sending me pictures of these and I'm like, where are you getting all this crap? So dude, yeah, we've been hanging out since we were 5, and he just started getting to know Lutzka. Chaz Ortiz used to stay with us all the time.
Well, he used to hang out with. I remember that because he used to be a thing with my sister.
Yeah, I remember him and Ron were together a long time.
I remember one time I was hanging out with my sister, and then all of a sudden she got a call, and it was Bartles, and he was in Cali, and then he was here, I got somebody who wants to talk to you, and then he handed the phone over, and he's what's up? This is Sheck. Yeah, and it was Ryan Sheckler.
Yeah.
She's just what?
Yeah, He's gotten to meet a lot of cool people, and I think I'm more proud of him than a lot of people in the skateboarding industry because he was getting all this clout at a young age. Everyone was dude, he's super young, he's super good, and dude, Bartles was always killing it. He still does, but he tore his ACL, and it was at that moment, all of a sudden he was dude, sponsorship is stupid. Skating to just film yourself and get noticed is stupid. All of a sudden it was his whole mindset shifted, and it wasn't about this. It was skateboarding changed for him, and he found a whole new love and passion within the culture, and not about the, I'm gonna be the next big thing. Mm-hmm. It was all about the actual love and passion, and he still lives and breathes that to this day, and it's the coolest thing ever. I love seeing that. He's at the. Well, I actually can't say where he was. There's a surprise coming for people, but whatever. But he's always building things, and it's awesome. So, I'm stoked to see that kid just shred. And yeah, man, I've met some cool people because of him.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, I think we did a pretty good show so far. So where can people find you?
I have no idea. I have no idea what to do a lot of times on these. Where can people find me, dude? Just at our website, www.shutterzonemedia.com. Facebook, you find me heavily on. Just going on there and type Casey Jones, Shutter Zone Media, any of that.
Instagram or anything.
Yeah, I'm not as active as I want to be on social media, and actually, I don't think I want to be. I say as active as I want to be, but I try to get off it as much as I can because it's just, again, like we said when we started, it's all bullcrap now.
Yeah, it really is.
So.
But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Like and subscribe and share this around. I could really use the help. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Later, guys.